What I'm hoping, guys, is that we're just early. And when everybody else, when the sheeple catch on. Hey everybody, it's Ron from Ron's Basement. Thank you for joining me. Today I have a major update for you on the precious metals and the mining stocks. But more importantly, we're going to dig into the major news stories of last week. And when I say more importantly, I mean because when I was putting this video together and I was reading through these top 4 or 5 stories, it gave me a massive clue as to where the price of the precious metals likely could be heading through the end of the year. So let's dig into all that and let's get started right now. You, yes, you are important. So it's important that I thank you for deciding to spend some of your precious time with me this morning in Ron's Basement. Right now, you're in the basement. Let's talk about what's going on with the precious metals markets. Let's start with gold. Gold this week went from $1,740 per ounce down to $1,700 per ounce. Not a good week for gold, down 2%. Not a devastating week, but it's been a rough stretch for gold, especially when we remember that just a few short months ago, we were bumping up at $2,000 per ounce. So it's been a rough go in physical gold. Silver wasn't much better this week, went from $19.25 per ounce all the way down to $18.66 per ounce, down about 3% for the week. The GDXJ, the Junior Gold Mining Index, went from 31 down to 30, about a 3% decline for the week. The mining stocks have been obliterated, down almost 45% in 3 months. Yes, just since mid-April. Junior gold mining stocks, most of them down at least 40, 50, some even 60%. No fun, right? Let's see, we'll try to find something positive about that. It is building character for us. There we go. We have even more character now than we did 3 months ago. Certainly, unfortunately, those of us who are invested in the junior gold mining stocks, we may have more character, but we do have less money. The SIL ETF that tracks the major silver mining companies, it also had a rough week, down to $24 per share, about 3%. My portfolio is at all-time lows. Actually, if I remember, I'm going to put up a screenshot I took of my portfolio, and it's each position has a little chart type thing next to it that shows where the stock is on the 52-week high low. Every one of them is like hugging the 52-week low. So it has been a brutal week. A brutal month, a brutal quarter for anyone invested in the metals, but in particular, the precious metal mining stocks. Sentiment's crappy. The S&P 500 this week was down 1% from about 3,900 to 3,863. Again, it feels really bad out there. And on top of that, it feels double, triple bad for the precious metals mining sector. I'm hearing all the top people, everybody I'm talking to is saying that it can get worse, but there's a heck of a to the 19th degree room for it to get better. So that's something for us to be optimistic about. Now let's move into these major news stories for the week and why I had an epiphany of sorts when I was reading through them and putting this video together. First thing we got is the dollar is at historic highs. Not all-time record highs, but definitely historic levels. I think a 20-year high at this point. Probably the biggest news story of the week was the inflation print, over 9%. It surprised to the upside. That really hurt the precious metals and the mining stocks. People think that gives the Federal Reserve more ground to stand on in terms of their hawkish stance. But like I said before, the Fed's at peak hawkishness. They already said unconditional, right? The market, in theory, has priced in an unconditionally hawkish Fed. Nonetheless, the next major news story, unemployment ticked up. Applications for new jobless benefits ticked up during the week as a sign that the economy is slowing. 70%, this is a shocking little statistic, 70% of Americans earning $100,000 per year or higher say that they're going to have a hard time paying their bills if inflation does not come down. That means they're like in bad financial shape. They're kind of broke, right? 70% of Americans, and these are the ones making $100K a year, to me, again, points towards a softening economy. The other thing that was all over the news, and you're hearing it in the mainstream narrative now, is recession, recession, recession. Everybody's talking about recession. So here's the epiphany that I had. As I'm putting all this together, okay, I'm hearing about high inflation, right? We got all PPI, CPI, it's all super high, but I'm also hearing things about unemployment. 70% of Americans not being able to pay their bills. And I'm hearing talk about recession everywhere. So we have high inflation and we have recession. Again, add those two together and you get stagflation.
Jim, you say stagflation is a possibility. What do you think the odds of stagflation are today versus, say, the last Fed meeting?
Oh, I think, the odds of stagflation are probably 100% right now.
100%?
You got 9%.
Okay.
Well, let's define stagflation, right? High inflation, 9% inflation, low growth. The Atlanta Fed is telling us that we might see another negative number, another consecutive negative number. If it doesn't go negative, it's just going to be barely positive. That's your definition of stagflation.
Which is undeniably, historically, very good for the price of precious metals. What I'm hoping, guys, is that we're just early. And when everybody else, when the sheeple catch on and realize, oh boy, I better do something with my money. There's nowhere to put my money. Everything looks bad. The market, bonds, blah, 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 blah. That just a little sliver of those people coming into our friends, gold, silver, and the mining stocks will have multiplying effects in terms of the amount of capital in the sector and multiplying effects on the price of the metals and the mining stocks. One thing for sure, we're going to find out. Another thing for sure, I'm going to be here with you through it all. I appreciate you joining me here in the basement. You're always welcome here. And until next time, you be well.